Welcome back to the show. Today we're diving into an invisible, crowded world of radio frequency. If you ever lost your Wi-Fi signal because you walked behind a concrete wall or inside the elevator shaft, or noticed your cell phone coverage drops in the middle of a dense forest, you are experiencing attenuation. We are often say that the steel bar in our buildings or thick foliage on trees eats the signal. What does it actually mean? In physics, nothing just disappears. When the RF wave hits the rebar or a wet leaf, the energy isn't swallowed into a void. It is absorbed or converted into a small amount of heat, or scattered and reflected in 1,000 different directions. The environment is consistently taxing our signals, chipping away at its strength before you even reach their destination. To understand how brutal this environment is, we have to look at how signal weakens over distance. In a perfectly empty vacuum, a signal power drops off according to the inverse square law, 1 over r squared, where the radius is the distance from the transmitter. But we don't live in a vacuum. Once you factor in the real-world obstacles like walls, rain, or human tissue, that decay accelerates dramatically, often dropping at a rate of 1 over r cubed or worse. In decibels, this logarithmic drop-off means a signal doesn't just coast to a stop, it plummets. Every millimeter of a matter the wave has to fight through actively chokes the electromagnetic field, turning a robust transmission into a faint signal. Now let's take this concept and shrink it down to the ultimate RF obstacle course. Imagine we are designing a nano-bot to transverse the human bloodstream, tasked with streaming real-time data like blood pressure and cholesterol levels directly to your smartphone app. In this microscopic realm, the human body is a dense jungle. The iron in our hemoglobin acts like a rebar steel. The dense network of cells and tissues act like heavy foliage. To get a signal out from the nanobots on board sonar or lidar detector through layers of muscle, fat, and skin, and successfully bridge the gap to the smartphone or home smart device, or even satellite orbiting overhead, we have to solve the ultimate attenuation puzzle. The body is literally trying to eat the data before it leaves the veins. Because the signal leaving the body is so profoundly weakened and battered by attenuation, the nanobot and the receiving device have to rely on engineering to salvage the data. This is where intermediate frequency comes in. We don't just process the raw, noisy, high-frequency signal right away. We shift it down to a lower, cleaner, intermediate frequency where it's much easier to filter out the static and amplify what's left. From there, digital signal processing takes over. Using Fourier transforms, we can mathematically deconstruct the messy, attenuated wave into an individual frequency, separating true data from the background noise. It's like listening to a faint voice in a roaring stadium, and perfectly isolating the speaker's tone. Once the signal is isolated, the magic of digital processing finishing the job through modulation and demodulation. Out in the bloodstream, the nanobots translates binary digital data, our ones and zeros, into modulated analog wave, carefully shaping its amplitude, frequency, and phase to survive the journey through the flesh. Once the battered, attenuated finally breaks through the skin and hits the smartphone or nearby device, the demodulator strips the wave characteristics away, reconstructing those pristine ones and zeros. These seamless translations ensures that the critical health alerts can travel from the blood vessel, pass through your smart home hub, and instantly reach an adult child monitoring their elderly parents' health from halfway across the world. When designing nanobots to transverse the bloodstream, we aren't just engineering machines, we are rewriting the boundaries of human longevity and connection. Every hurdle we face with attenuation, every dB of signal lost to the iron in our blood is simply a map telling us where to innovate next. Imagine a world where grandmother's heart speaks directly to her family devices, where a microscopic guardian agent sends a signal warning of a stroke hours before it happens, conquering the hostile environment of our own biology to keep us safe. By conquering the limits of physics and mastering the invisible waves, we are building a future where distance, disease of human body can no longer isolate us from the people we love. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time.